Good morning, kids. Welcome to Spunky Canyon Road. It is a hot day for a drive, and I got a bunch of cars with no AC. Starting with this one, Porsche 356 Coupe, and this is Andrew. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Thank you.
With your family's 2 Porsche collection.
That's right.
The 356, and you brought out a 912. So I've done a 356 before.
Yep.
And there were some people out there that said it was not as fast as it was supposed to be. So
this is going to be slower than that.
This will be even slower. I can't wait. Tell me all about this car.
Well, it's a 1956. It's a V sunroof, and the V sunroof was a rare option because it was the sunroof of a 55 car.
Okay.
And this is the earliest A, because before this they were all known as pre-A's.
Pre-A, right.
And
so my 356A.
Yep.
1600 cc's.
Yeah, it is still 1600 cc's, and it's had a couple of rebuilds. You know, I think it's around 85 horsepower, but that may be a little bit optimistic.
Okay. Well, it's a really cool shade of blue that your dad was a little defensive about it not being the right color. But I think it looks great.
We get a lot of crap for it. But
really? I think
like
it looks great.
Yeah, I love it.
I think people freak out about color too much.
Yeah, you know, it's my car. It's his car. He does what he wants with it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, let's have a go up Spunky Canyon, which should be good fun. It's purring pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's running pretty well. It is the original engine and transmission, but it's been rebuilt a couple of times, obviously.
How long have you guys had this in your family?
Well, he bought it in 1980.
Oh, so quite a while, huh?
Yeah, it's. I grew up with it. I learned how to drive. You got it.
I was putting up the window.
Yeah, no, but
you gotta upshift. Yeah, do I? Do I?
Sorry
really?
about that. But,
so wait, close the V sunroof so we can we maybe? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so it's just a mechanical mechanism.
Brakes feel pretty good. Okay, confidence.
4-wheel drums.
Ride's nice and smooth.
Yep.
You mentioned, and I would say it is accurate, that there is some play in the steering.
Yeah,
so,
you know, it's tough to find steering boxes. I got to find somebody to rebuild it because it's a little bit different than 57s and later. 55s use a different one. It's just, it's very.
Use the right one.
Yeah, it's so weird finding parts for this because it's kind of the mid-year or the mid-range one.
I imagine negotiating tight bends is not going to be hard because once you get the load on, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's actually going straight where you have to manage these minute corrections where you have some trouble.
Yeah.
Because you got to go across the dead zone to do it. But just like the last one I drove, you know, beautifully smooth, rides really well. I'm gonna be conservative. Is there a synchro for second?
Yeah, it's all 4 synchros, but they're a little weak.
Do you recommend the double clutch for second, or
just kind of
be careful?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not doing bad at all, so it's not really a big deal. But
it's hard to get into a car from the 50s and just be like, yep, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Bench seat, gotta hold it, gotta hang on. I should put the window
corners
down.
well. Yeah.
It does actually, but if I put the window down, now I've got a grab handle here. This feels like this could be 85 horsepower, maybe.
Yeah, it's super lightweight.
It is very light. Oh, it's got some grip too. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. I've never been able to go flat up Spunky before.
Well, this is the one to do it in.
Yeah. I wonder how much, like, not that you would really do it, right? Because it's a classic, but if you put a proper bucket seat in and didn't have to hang on, how much easier?
Well, you know, the Speedsters did come with proper bucket seats, and those hold you pretty well. These are not good at holding you, but they are comfortable.
It's comfortable, though. I still think, man, for Pebble Beach, I get it. Great car for Pebble Beach traffic.
Yeah. And you know, if they're tuned right, they run forever.
I've heard that. I've heard that these cars are actually, you know, despite the expensive cost of some parts, I've heard they're actually quite easy to keep these things.
Well,
running.
you know, they're basically Volkswagen engines. You got to treat them a lot differently, though, because they are Porsche tuned.
What happens if we go to third here? Yeah, this one may have a little bit more power than the last one, I think.
Interesting.
You know, the last one really couldn't pull much in third gear at all.
Well, that's, you know, C's did have a little bit more power than the A's, but, you know. It's been so long since they were original, so you can never tell.
Really long gear shift throw.
Yeah, it's
Probably
like
about
it's like a
18
truck.
inches, yeah. But easy, easy to find the gear. It's not. These things like
it's communicative.
If you never drove stick before, these things are pretty idiot-proof. Well,
this is the first car I learned how to drive stick on.
Yeah,
so.
it's not hard. You can get it going with a lot of throttle.
Yeah.
And just kind of dumping the clutch. And oh, here's a tough section here. This is the
I was a little
infamous
concerned for this.
Lamborghini log back and forth section.
Yeah.
I am confident in the brakes though. That's something that like the American car companies didn't figure out until
that was
like
one
the
of
90s.
That was one of Ferdinand Porsche's big points in his vehicles. You know, it had to brake faster than it could accelerate. That was the big deal. And Porsches have always had pretty good brakes in my experience, but
yeah,
that's pretty limited experience.
No, they do, but just, it's so funny when you drive a car from the 50s or the 60s. If it's European, you get more confidence in the handling and in the braking, and it's not necessarily that come on, buddy. It's not that the American cars can't stop or turn. I've seen them stop short and I've seen them turn hard before, but it's hard to just develop the confidence to do it.
Yeah, they're a lot heavier. These are pretty lightweight cars.
And they just don't talk to you the way that these do. This one I can really feel what's going on. All right, let's try the old uphill, downhill. How's the turning radius?
Yeah, pretty good. Well, relative to another 50s car.
Actually, yeah, look at that. Not bad. Not bad at all, my friend. Dude, the more I drive these, the more I kind of get them.
Yeah, it's just a fun thing. It's the prices are a little outrageous, but
they are.
I think it's a really fun time.
So have you done any like road trips in this one or anything?
We drive this car a lot. This is a pretty serious driver, and we drive it to San Luis Obispo or Cambria every year. Hold on. For 356 meets, that type of deal. We actually drove this down to Huntington Beach last weekend from Palmdale, so it's pretty good on the freeway.
Yeah, what can it cruise at like 75 or so?
We cruise at 85.
Really?
At about 3,200 RPM. So
it's probably great.
Yeah, long gearing.
Do these have? They didn't do the endurance fuel tanks in these, right? Can you?
Actually, there is a 100-liter fuel tank that you can get for these.
Really?
This one doesn't have it, but
What's the range of this?
This goes about 240 miles on the tank.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
No, this is good.
Yeah, I know. I only know that because when the fuel gauge broke, you had to watch the trip counter.
Yeah. Dude, this car is a lot of fun. I completely get it. I got it with the last one I drove too, but this one does have. That one might not have been running just right because this one. You say it makes less power than he said it made.
Well, I try not to be too optimistic.
No, I mean, and I don't think he was lying or anything like that. I just think that this one maybe is tuned better, or the stars have aligned properly, or whatever it is. It really offers a genuinely rewarding driving experience.
And I think for how the way it handles and the brakes, I think the amount of power it has is just about perfect. It's a pretty well-rounded package.
Could easily use 50 more.
Well, yeah. I only say that because I'm not going to do anything.
They could always use 50 more.
Yeah.
My buddy Spike has a Speedster that he hot rodded up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it makes about 140 horsepower.
Oh, that probably hauls ass.
It rips. Yeah. No, it's really quick. We're gonna do one of those later this year, but
nice.
I really enjoy driving this car. It just there really is a level of honesty and satisfaction about it. And you can totally feel. Have you ever driven? Well, you've obviously driven the 912.
Yeah.
Have you driven a more modern 911 ever?
I've driven a 996. But,
okay, so that's the one that doesn't really apply.
And it was not a good one.
Can you kind of feel the connection between?
I don't know. I've driven because I've also driven a 1970 911T, and you can feel it between this and that, but
with a 70, yeah. for sure.
I like to think that this body style, the A body style of the 356, looks a little bit more like the new 911s, more than the old 911s does. It's like they've kind of come full circle, almost literally, with the roundedness
and the blobness.
Well, and the bulbousness, I guess, is a word to use there.
Oh, I'm enjoying myself. You keep making connections with the new 911. I'm just gonna be over here driving. This is good.
Yeah.
Very nice to drive. I mean, if you could get rid of the dead zone and the steering, that would be the greatest.
That's the new project. You know, it may take a Volkswagen, a modified Volkswagen. It may be the same. It's kind of a challenge for me to find what it'll
fourth?
use. Yes, you are.
Okay.
It's
For some
sketchy.
reason, fourth is a little vague, isn't it?
There's not as much of a positive engagement.
Yeah. I was like,
you just kind of got to hold it in, let the clutch
there?
out.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if I was in or not.
Yeah. It's got its quirks.
I could totally see making a great weekend out of road tripping this car.
Yeah, and it's pretty comfortable. The seats are good. Can't fit anybody in the back though.
No, but decent luggage space though, and you get the trunk up front too.
Yeah. Well, the spare tire in the toolkit takes up
that's true.
some of it, and then the fuel tank is right there also.
So you got the back. So you could do it with 2 weekend bags though.
Yeah.
This is great, man.
And it's fuel efficient. we got like 28 coming back from Huntington Beach. Yeah.
28 miles a gallon. Wow. Well, it is only 85 horsepower.
Yeah, and it's lightweight, and it's very aerodynamic.
Yeah. Ferdinand Porsche knew something. He had figured out some things.
Yeah.
This is a lovely car to drive.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Easy to rev match too.
Yeah.
Once you get your timing down with these very long throws like that.
Yeah. The gear's a little short in first and second.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a nice time.
That was great, man. Thank you.
No worries.
All right, so we're gonna hop to your other car right now.
Yeah.
And the video may not go up in order, so don't freak out. We're gonna go drive his 912 Targa right now and see what year is that?
1969.
So how far Porsche came in 13 years?
Yeah. Well. I just blanked right there.
That's okay. We're gonna go to his other car.
Yeah, we'll
and
check
he'll have
that
a lot
out.
more to say. See you later.